What's up, everybody? I just got back from college for fall break and I have some books to haul out. I got these books from DJ Ernst's bookstore in Selinsgrove, and I will be showing you guys what I got. This is just like a rapid haul. I know it's not what I usually do. There was a haul in Lit Log 1, but I figured I'd make hauls separate from now on. So let me take these out of the bag and then I'll show you. All right. So we have 6 books to haul out. I'll show you guys what I picked. There was a very good selection at this store, so I'm just going to be going in order of how they were in the bag. First, we have One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey. This is obviously a very popular book. I will read the synopsis on the back. In this classic novel of the 1960s, Ken Kesey's hero is Randall Patrick McMurphy, a boisterous, brawling, fun-loving rebel who swaggers into the world of a mental hospital and takes over. A lusty, life-affirming fighter, McMurphy rallies the other patients around him by challenging the dictatorship of Big Nurse. He promotes gambling in the ward, smuggles in wine and women, and openly defies the rules at every turn. But this defiance, which starts as a sport, soon develops into a grim struggle, an all-out war between two relentless opponents. Big Nurse, backed by the full power of authority, McMurphy, who has only his indomitable will. What happens when Big Nurse uses her ultimate weapon against McMurphy provides the story's shocking climax. So, I'm excited to read this. Obviously, it's a movie, and I heard the movie's pretty good, so I'm looking forward to that. That is book number 1. And then we have The Dharma Bums by Jack Kerouac. This is a lesser-known book, but I actually got this book because there was a bar near my house that's called Dharma Bums. That's really it. And I know that Jack Kerouac is a very good author. That is a very well-known fact. The synopsis on the back of this says, two jubilant young men search for the can't speak English today. 2 young men search for truth the Zen way, from marathon wine drinking bouts, poetry jam sessions, and yabium in San Francisco's Bohemia, to solitude in the high Sierras and a vigil atop Desolation Peak in Washington State. Which, that is a very minimal synopsis. But I've heard enough about this book to know that I will most likely like this book. And if I don't, then I can just pay it forward and donate it again. So, not a big deal. Alright, next one. We have As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner. I do not know anything about this book. It does not have a synopsis on the back. Nothing. However, before I graduated high school, one of my favorite English teachers, I asked him, I was like, I'm gonna major in English. What do I need to read? What do you think is this meaningful? Like, what should I do? What should I read? And the first thing that he said to me was this, As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner. He said that it was deep, awesome, really thought-provoking. And I have never heard of it other than that conversation. So I saw this and I thought, I gotta have it. And I have no idea what it is, don't know the genre, don't know the format, nothing. So this is a mystery to me. And then let's move on to the next one. We're halfway through. It's my little nerd pickup. This is My Grammar and I, or Should That Be Me? This is actually a grammar workbook. As an English major, one of my special interests is grammar. Whenever I'm doing workshops with other students regarding their writing, the main thing that I touch on is, there should have been a comma there, or, make this different, restructure the sentence to make it more grammatically correct. I really like, nitpicking, stuff like that, which might be annoying, but that is something that I enjoy. And this tells me all about it. So I know, especially for my own writing, not just workshopping, I love making all of my work, correct in the way that is, most accepted in a scholarly manner. So I'm looking forward to using that to help me out. And then, second to last, we have The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. This is a Penguin Classics, which is like my favorite publisher ever, really. And this has a synopsis on the back. When Victorian scientist propels himself into the year 800 to 701 AD, he is initially delighted to find that suffering has been replaced by beauty, contentment, and peace. Entranced at first by the Eloi, an elfin species descended from man, he soon realizes that this beautiful people are simply remnants of a once great culture, now weak and childishly afraid of the dark. They have every reason to be afraid. In deep tunnels beneath their paradise lurks another race descended from humanity, the sinister Morlocks. And when the scientist's time machine vanishes, it becomes clear he must search these tunnels if he is to ever return to his own era. So this, I don't really know that much about it, but obviously it's a classic. I think everyone's heard of this book, and it's very small. So I'm really excited to read this, and I think I can get it done relatively quickly. All right, and then to the last book, we have In Cold Blood by Truman Capote, and this also has a synopsis, so let me read that. And I'm sorry if I'm just reading the synopsises, but I haven't read any of these books, so I guess you're gonna have to tune in for the, lit logs to see what I really think of these. Anyway, on November 15th, 1959, in the small town of Holcomb, Kansas, 4 members of the Clutter family were savagely murdered by blasts from a shotgun held a few inches from their faces. There was no apparent motive for the crime, and there was almost no clues. As Truman Capote reconstructs the murder and the investigation that led to capture, trial, and execution of the killers, he generates both mesmerizing suspense and astonishing empathy. So this might be a nonfiction book, which I was not aware of, but that's pretty cool. But yeah, these were the books that I got, and I'm really excited to read them, so boom, that's what we got. All right, thank you for watching, and tune into my lit logs to see if and when and how I like these books. See you guys next time.